Yeah, this is EL-RUFAI responding. This is just too long, bro. Just summarize it. Nigeria update. El-Rufai's response to the statement by the National Security Advisor. That's RIBADU, right? And the Kaduna State government alleged the politicization of national security. This is my response to the unfortunate statement from the Office of the National Security Advisor and the fake but predictable hot air from Kaduna following my live television interview on Channels TV last night. This is going to cost a lot of stuff. As usual, the combined voices of Kaduna State government and security advisor, national security, instead of responding to the core issue I raised, seeks to deflect responsibility by alleging that exposing them amount to politicizing security. As a person whose three siblings served in the Nigerian Army and the Air Force, with one of them rising to the rank of general, I have and will continue to appreciate and honor the memory of our citizens in uniform who have made sacrifices for Nigeria. I will also continue to appreciate the immense work that continues to be done by gallant officers of the military and security agencies. It is a well-known fact to the SANI Nigeria that the face of the politicization of national security for politically intended purposes resides for the first time in our recent history in the NSA, that's National Security Agency, under its present leadership. If the NSA think Nigerians are not following its unclear and incompetent management of terrorism and banditry in northern Nigeria and beyond, in collaboration with a certain senator also from the north, then it is high time it carried out an in-depth evaluation and review of its action. We're not the first to reveal the government's ongoing greasing of the palms of non-state actors in Kaduna, Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Niger, Kebbi, and other states. No matter how incompetent in security matters it may be, the National Security Advisor cannot be oblivious of videos and audios of traditional rulers and community leaders and religious leaders condemning the payment made by the states to bandits. We've seen videos of El-RUFAI also saying he also paid bandits. The attempt at denial falls flat as many citizens in the affected states have been following the counter replies by community leaders and clerics on the issue of government paying bandits. We spoke the minds of distressed communities across Nigeria, bro, who are victims of banditry and terrorism and who are watching the pains, the way, the manner, the answer, which ought to be discreet and purely carry out intelligence coordination, is now deeply involved in lousy protocol and public relations duties, along with political inclined security management at the expense of expertise of trained professionals. This charade by ONSA is done gleefully at a steep cost to the finances of the country, and the ethical fabric of our society. Constitutional, legal, and patriotic duty the government owes on security is to better support our military and security agency with more resources like personnel, equipment, and technology, rather than further endangering the country by mollycoddling bandits. What exactly constitutes negotiation with bandits? Why is he saying this? Because we know how you fared in Kaduna. Why is non-kinetic approach to addressing banditry and criminality equal to withdrawals of each amount of money from state treasury and handing them over to bandits and terrorists? Which officials and their intermediary delivers this money? And how much personal withholding tax do they apply before delivering of the funds? Who are the most prolific purchaser of prime real estate in Abuja in the last 2 years? And what is the source of their newfound wealth? These are questions many discerning citizens are demanding answers, while officials of ONSA and Kaduna State government are focusing on protocols, propaganda, and international junkets. Okay, let's read more. Okay, part 2. This guy, I don't know what he wants, bro. If one may digress a bit, it's a treat. It is trite to ask Kaduna State government and the National Security Advisor that after the much publicized negotiation with bandits in Benin Gwari, in the presence of the governor of Kaduna State and representative of ONSA, did the bandit not kill the 5 citizens in the same local government? In particularly last month, have there been no kidnappings and killing in Kaura, Kajuru, Chinkun, Giwa, and lately Kudan? And McAfee local government? How many of the 6 ISDP Finance Science Secondary School that will complete before leaving office have admitted students because of the improved securities that Kaduna State and ONSA, National Security Advisor Office, has miraculously achieved. The parade at the National Security Agency of rescued victims, whose family usually frown at the narrative of being rescued after they have paid ransom, is another unfortunate propaganda and the official falsehood. At least, Nigeria followed the drama of the families in Zamfara State who paid ransom to secure the release of their loved one, while the middlemen claimed to have rescued them. The Kaduna State government is obviously disappointed at the recent sorry, one sec. Okay, the Kaduna State government is obviously disappointed at the recent revelation by the Sahara reporters and the SBM intelligence have shattered the false facade it had presented on kidnapping and other security issues in response. The state government chose to quarrel with the data, which it knows to be true because it has consistently tried to suppress information on security incidents from reaching the public. Yeah, but then I think in this age and time, you cannot, because you have social media stuff. I mean, we would know, like when the Benue state stuff up, excuse me, like there's no way you can hide that. But and people also living in Kaduna State are saying that, in Southern Kaduna are saying that things are getting better. So how do you square that, right? Generally, the consensus is that Southern Kaduna is more peaceful today than when RIBADU was governor. Sorry, than when EL-RUFAI was governor. In contrast, our administration was so confident that it's doing its best as a subnational to address security issue. Well, the result wasn't showing that, EL-RUFAI. In difficult circumstances that it published quarterly an annual security incidents report. This report contained data on various types of security incidents, and these were presented without any attempt to distort the data. No matter how grim, the current government seems not to realize that citizens can easily see the dissonance between their security circumstances and the whitewashed version coming from an increasingly distrusted and incompetent government. The recent political gathering of senior federal government officials in Kaduna to reel out President Tinubu's successes in the north saw the National Security Advisor parading senior military and security officers to address the political gathering. This amounts to the same politicization of security personnel that the answer purports to disdain. Wow. In the megalomania of the National Security Advisor, every attempt to hold him accountable is politicization of security. Every passive enemy of it is a security risk, and every critic of a purportedly democratic government is unpatriotic. What a shame. In the same Kaduna over a month ago, the ONSA and the Kaduna collaborator twisted an initiative of foreign country to provide aid to indigent citizens into a narrative of donating houses to the victim of banditry in the states. So citizens should not have houses again from foreign government because what? Nigeria should dig deeper into the story and also visit and verify if the said victims are currently occupying those places after the politically inspired media stunt. The ONSA, that's the National Security Advisor, and Kaduna State government are hereby challenged to also publicize the location and details of how they are carrying out disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration of the so-called repentant bandits. Bro.
Where we need to focus our energy at shaping how political parties select candidates that will make Nigeria better. Not just the election itself. The election is just one. And we are past that stage. I think JGA's reforms have already ensured that elections in Nigeria are likely to continue to be free, fair, and credible. We can put more technology into it, but the key issue is who do we vote for? And what is the quality of the persons that we can vote for? I think that's where we need to focus our attention. How to make youth to be engaged.
Okay, let me read the part 3 before I listen to this. As governor of Kaduna State for 8 years, we worked with 2 ministers of defense, 1 NSA, 2 chief of defense staff, 3 chief of army staff, 2 chief of naval staff, 2 chief of air staff, 2 chief of defense intelligence, 4 inspector general of police, and 3 director general of the state security service. This is aside from several general officers commanding, air officers commanding, commissioner of police, state director of security, and military commander at state level. Our appreciation for the sacrifices made and still being made by our military and security officers is deep. That is why we speak out about those saddled with immense responsibility 2 years ago, who seems to view security management as a persistent exercise in propaganda and make-believe, and as cover for diverting public funds and abusing power with impunity. Neither the ONSA nor Kaduna State government can stop the exercise of constitutional right to associate with others, have meetings, express opinion, and alternatives to the fictitious narrative of officialdom. They are advised to concentrate their efforts on solving security issues rather than seeing in the mystery of affected citizens opportunities to claim false glories and divert and squander funds. Insecurity is a menace they ought to eliminate, not opposition voices and platforms. They repeatedly I don't know what this means, so sorry about that. Some of its own officials and some security agencies for not disrupting visits and meetings in Kaduna by certain prominent persons is well known. The thuggery unleashed against the ADC meeting of Saturday, 30th August 2025, which I also denounce and also which I also think is bad, shows that those government officials and some officers of security agencies have succumbed to blandishment to sponsor and enable violence against those that legitimately oppose their government. Why is this not attracting the attention of the National Security Advisor as a major security issue? Is it until it leads to anarchy due to total politicization of policing in the states? National security is a very serious matter, critical to the peace and prosperity of the country and the safety and well-being of citizens. It is unpatriotic to disguise incompetence in understanding it, much less managing it as media stunts. In managing difficult circumstances, I recommend a new message to the National Security Advisor and his sidekick in Kaduna and elsewhere. The admonition by African patriot of old, tell no lies, claim no easy victory. Very unfortunate. See, the first thing, Kaduna State is, okay, this guy is an APC. The crime baby 27 and your career has ended. Why? Kilo Day, this guy alone? Why? Malam is trying to trivialize our national security apparatus with no proof, just word. Sir, please let the people continue their work without political distraction. Okay, so let me finish this video here.
At shaping how people power, you have to get involved and fight and negotiate for it. If you think that old guys will just hand over power to them because they are young, they're making a mistake. That it has not happened anywhere in the world. It will not happen. The issue is involvement and getting engaged and making contributions. Then you'll have the way. And I don't agree that youth cannot be voted for. The minimum age for contesting elections in Nigeria is 21.
Okay.
You can contest for local government chairmanship, councillor, even state assembly. I think even national assembly is 20-something. President is 30, I think, or 40. I think it's 30. So it is not true that young people have no opportunity to contest. It is just that they come in with a sense of entitlement without getting involved in the process and negotiating.
They come in with entitlement mentality. That was how you also became a minister and all that. I mean, you became a governor in Kaduna just because of Buhari. Left to you alone, you rode that trend to win, and now you're saying that Buhari was a mistake. Maybe it was, but you cannot just come and claim here that people are coming in with expression of entitlement when you also fell into that same category.
And getting the support of the party and the leadership, you'll not go anywhere. You can continue shouting that you're young, but hey, we are young too at one time. social activists that, young people think they don't have a chance. You see, this is a chicken and egg situation. So long as young people believe they don't have a chance and stay away, they will never be there. My appeal to young people, and I work a lot with them, and I engage very actively on social media, largely because I want to encourage young people not to repeat the mistakes I made. Because until the age of 45, I did your hands dirty.
Okay. Yeah, so that's it. El-RUFAI